Okay, do let me know if you guys can see my screen. Oh, good. Cool then. Thank you. Okay, so now what we are going to discuss in today's session. So we are going to discuss about the hypothesis testing. How many of you know about this word? What do you mean by the hypothesis? What do you mean by the hypothesis word? What is that? Assumption, right? Is it called a assumption? So let's suppose in our daily life we used to see this kind of claims many companies used to do. Like if you have seen many electric bikes, electric vehicles, EVs, they used to claim that our vehicles are running 100 kilometers in one charge, 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers in one charge. Or also you can see like our electric bulb can sustain more than 2 years or 3 years. And also we have seen our soap can kill 99% germs, right? So this kind of statement, this kind of hypothesis they used to put in their in our daily life, and we don't have any way to so that we can prove that whether this statement is correct or wrong. It's right or wrong, right? So in order to do these things, we as a data scientist, we as a ML engineer, our jobs and responsibility is that we have to verify whether what is that statement they are saying, how much it is correct. So we have to come up with the proof. We have to come up with some reason why this is, why this is not that. So hope you understood this is the hypothesis. And in order to verify this kind of statement, we are going to learn hypothesis testing. That's all. So what is the hypothesis? Hypothesis means assumption. Assumption, who are going to put? Assumptions are getting put by given by various companies, various organizations. It can be anyone. It can be me. Like I can say, who were getting trained with me, 90% they are getting jobs, right? So that is also one kind of hypothesis or one kind of claim I am going to put in front of you, right? And then you as a student, you as a candidate, your responsibility is to put that whether how much correct I am, right? So in order to do these things, we are going to learn the hypothesis testing. Any questions so far? No question. Okay, let me put all those things whatever I told. Let me write everything here. So I just whatever I told, I gave the statement. So you can see in our daily life we often hear the statement like Dhoni is the better captain than his contemporaries, or motorcycle company claim that a certain model gives an average mileage of 100 kilometer per liter, or toothpaste company claiming to be a number one brand suggested by dentist, right? This kind of claim we used to see in many advertisement, right? So as we are going to learn all those things, we are going to prove first things whether how much it is correct, right? So for that we are going to learn hypothesis testing. So again, hypothesis testing is two types. What are the two type is there? So there is a two type of hypothesis testing. Let me write these things first. Type of hypothesis testing. I'll go slow, bit slow today. At any point, if you feel like you are not able to understand, feel free ping me. I'm happy to address everyone question, because this part is very important. These are the things from here the questions are coming in the interviews. Okay. So yes. Session is getting recorded. So any okay. So far, do you guys feeling any problem with the recordings as well? Like initially there was a blurs and something was there. Now I'm recording with the 4K quality. So I think Last video link you didn't get. Okay. Okay, I'll try to get it for you. So, okay, let's focus here first. Type of hypothesis testing. Number one is null hypothesis. I'll explain everything, don't worry. And another is alternative hypothesis. So what do you mean by null and alternative hypothesis is, let me explain first and then I will come up with the definition. See, everything is the story. If you can understand my story, all the things, hypothesis testing is clear. Okay, so let's suppose you are seeing any kind of advertisement. In advertisement, people used to say, okay, X brand of toothpaste is number one suggestion by a dentist. Okay, so this is the kind of claim has been given by X brand. Okay, so this claim, whatever claim they are going to give, that is known as the null hypothesis. Means that is correct. Like null hypothesis means whatever claim has been given is called null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is what? Alternative hypothesis is apart from this, like it's you can understand in that way, like it's both the things are mutually exclusive. Like what do you mean by the mutually exclusive? Like both the scenario cannot happen at one place, like at one instant null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis cannot possible, okay, at the same time. At a time only either null hypothesis can be happen or alternative hypothesis. You can take an example in that way. Let's suppose one criminal it is. Okay, I can take an example of whoever the criminal is here. So let's suppose this is the criminal. Okay, so police catch this criminal and they took into the jail, and then this criminal went inside a court. Okay, division court or criminal court, wherever it is. And then this police is claiming that this person theft around $4,000 from somewhere. Okay, let's just consider this example. Okay, so here is the null hypothesis is what? Whatever police is claiming, right? Null hypothesis is saying like this person has been theft $4,000 from somewhere, right? This is the null hypothesis. What will be the alternative hypothesis? Alternative hypothesis will be this person is not a theft, right? This person is a clean, right? So this is the alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis is always the things whatever they are claiming, that is known as the null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is opposite of that. Okay, so if you understood what do you mean by the null hypothesis or what do you mean by the alternative hypothesis, any doubt? Cool. So let me give the definition. So null hypothesis is a hypothesis. So let me write the definition first. Okay, any doubt? Whatever I told, I wrote the same thing. Okay, cool. Any question? Okay, cool. So now next is we are going to discuss about alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is just opposite of null hypothesis. Okay, alternative hypothesis is complement of null hypothesis, or you can say it is opposite of null hypothesis. Okay, so and you can see you can observe in that way. Just if one person will be a clean, or either will be clean or either will be theft, right? Thief. So at the same time he cannot be both, multi personality cannot be happening, right? So this is the things between the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Okay, and it's mutually exclusive event. Like null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis both are mutually exclusive in the sense of both the things cannot happen at the same time. This is the one thing you have to keep in your mind. So I'm just writing all the pointers, all the words, whatever I'm saying. So then I will discuss about the some numerical problem, some problem statement, and then we'll try to understand on a more detail. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, cool. And okay, and null hypothesis is getting denoted by H naught. It depends, like, but in Indian standard book people denoting the null hypothesis with these notations. So it denoted by H naught. Just keep these things. And alternative hypothesis is getting denoted by H1. Sometimes people used to denote these things with alpha 0 or alpha 1, but yeah, it's on you. But I have seen in all Indian standard book what I followed. I will suggest one book as well. You guys, if you will get a chance to read it out, it is freely available in the Google. I'll give you the link as well. Please feel free, take those books on as a reference. So whenever you will get a chance, because I completely agree, and you should also agree these things. 100% we cannot deliver, right? If people are doing the masters, people are doing the PhD on these subjects, you cannot get those kind of clarity. But if you will get a chance, at least 2 page 3 page per day to read those things, you will get at least, means you have the basic understanding, you have the fundamental clear, okay, what is null, what is alternative hypothesis, and you will get a lot of things once you will start reading the books. Okay, I'll give you the one very good book which everyone used to recommend. Even I used to recommend. I studied that book, I learned all those things, and whatever I am teaching here, I used to get all information from there. That's a ground truth. Okay, so that's the one thing. So now let's understand these things. What is the let me give you one example to understand null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So just a minute. It's complete. No, it's not about statistics. It's all about machine learning, and everything is there. Like statistics part is also there. But if you have some time to purchase that book, I will suggest it's worthy. You should purchase. Uh, as per my understanding, I used to buy, means like online books, and like online seeing the things. I never able to recall the things. I never able to grab the things until unless we are not putting the money on it. To be honest, this is my truth, because until unless I'm not putting any money on something, I am not grabbing anything. Okay, so that's the one thing. But yeah, it's on you. So yeah, I'll share the link. I'll share the PDF files as well. It's like yeah, it's available on Amazon as well. It's worthy. You can buy. Okay. So yes, yes. Okay. So now next example. Okay, if someone is on mute, please mute yourself. Okay. Okay, please mute yourself, guys, whoever unmuted. Maintain the quality, please. These are the things is getting recorded. Please take care of these things. Okay, cool. So the question is, a soap company claims that its product kills on an average 99% of the germs. And to test the claim of this company, we will formulate the null and alternative hypothesis. So I am asking this. This is the open question with everyone. What will be the null hypothesis and what will be the alternative hypothesis in this case? Anyone? Would you like to try? Anyone who want to try? Exactly. Very good. So null hypothesis is the product or soap will kill 99%, or you can say more than 99% is also work. Yes, that is also considerable. Not only 99%, it can be more than also will be considerable as a positive testing. Whatever he is claiming or she is claiming, it's good. Let's suppose I am claiming 90% of my student will get a job after getting trained with under me, right? If it is a 93% is getting job, then it's good for me, right? And no one can reject me. But if my claim is 90% and 80% students are getting job, then it's not good, then my claim is wrong, right? That's all. So null hypothesis in this case is greater than equal to 99%. What is the alternative hypothesis in this case? Alternative hypothesis is less than 99%. That's all. Okay. So you understood, right? With the problem, how we can understand what is the null hypothesis, what is the alternative hypothesis. Does it make sense? Cool. Now we are going to understand hypothesis testing. Okay. So in order to do the hypothesis, okay, now we understood what are different type of hypothesis testing is there, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Now, in order to do the hypothesis testing, we have to keep few things in our mind. Okay. So, so let me. Okay. So, so when we test a hypothesis, we assume that null hypothesis is true. Just for example, let's suppose I am saying, like, whenever people are whoever are getting trained, like my trained student is chances of getting job is 90%. So in first time, whenever you are doing the hypothesis testing, you have to consider whatever I am saying is true. And you have to get the events, you have to get the proof in order to make me wrong, right? So in order to make me wrong, you have to find a proof for it, right? So, but at the first stage, you have to consider that I am a right person, or whatever I'm saying is right. Okay, so when we test the hypothesis, we assume that null hypothesis is to be true until there is sufficient evidence in the sample to prove it false, right? So this is the basic fundamental rule of the null hypothesis. So in that case, we reject the null, means if we get the sufficient proof to reject my hypothesis or reject my claim, then you can reject the null hypothesis, means whatever I'm saying, and you can support or you can accept alternative hypothesis. So this is the very ground rule whenever you are going to do any kind of hypothesis testing. See, again, I'm saying these are the things is getting done by all the Python library. You don't need to understand any complexity, whatever I'm teaching here. Okay. But as a scientist, we deserve for scientist role, right? So our responsibility, how the libraries are getting worked, we should understand this part as well. So for that reason, I am putting this much of effort here. Otherwise, we have everything is available in the Python library. That's what people are supporting the Python for AI and ML kind of things. Okay, so don't worry about it all. But yeah, whenever you are going for interview, no one is going to ask, write a Python program for the regression, write a Python program to add 3 number or multiply 3 number. No one is going to ask these things. To be honest, note it down for today. If you are going for the fresher, you might get this kind of question. But if you're going for the experience holder, no one is going to ask this kind of questions. I didn't face this kind of question. I have collected around 150 questions for the 1 to 5 years of experience people, and I observe only 10 to 5% cases are there where people are going to ask a very hard code program. Okay, people used to ask your concept, how good you are in concept, how well to understand the problem, how you are dealing the problem. People used to understand this. Whenever I used to take an interview, I used to consider this part. I never go with the hardcore coding. Okay, but yeah, always data structure is the part playing a game changer role in every moment. But yeah, at the second moment, if people are going to crack the interview for the startups, no one is going to ask these things. It depend which kind of startup you are looking for. See, people are looking for in startup also there is a different tiers are there, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. It depends what revenue they are capturing and what kind of product they are building. Let's suppose I'll give you the example. So let's suppose, for instance, if your startup is dealing with payment gateways, okay, or payment gateways, so it's a very critical, or banking system. Though many startups are working for the banking systems, right? It's pretty critical, critical scenario where people observing a very fine developer. It's not like that. Okay, you know a basic coding and we can hire you. Okay, if it is a startup of e-commerce or any kind of dealing with the payment gateway, then obviously your level of interviews will be more. But yeah, again, if you are dealing with any kind of non-e-commerce or non-payment gateway kind of platform, like for example, I can give you the one more example, like a BSNL, or you can say uh, uh, like a real estate product, for example, no broker, this kind of thing. They are not dealing with this kind of e-commerce or payment gateway kind of thing. There is the property management system, PMS, and there is a leasing management system, and there is a stack, and we have to make a communication between these kind of stacks, and we have to build a product. So here, if something is breaking, we are not losing financially something, anything, right? We are losing the customer trust. That's okay at one point. But if you are losing, let's suppose if you are dealing with the banking system and you miss something, there is a huge transaction gap is going to happen. I can give you the one example, uh, where I have seen, like, uh, in phone pay itself, like whenever people are doing the transaction, people used to get two messages at one time. Let's suppose you send 500 rupees to me, I used to get two messages from the phone pay side. Then I understood, okay, phone pay 500 is coming twice in my account, right? So then I used to claim this directly to the phone pay. What is getting happen here? So these are the very crucial, applications. It depends. Again, I'm saying it depends. So if you are going for interview for the kind of company who is dealing with the payment gateways or financial kind of things like banking system, then obviously level of interview will be more. But if it is something like non e-commerce kind of thing, then it's okay, like one or two rounds, that's fine. One round, and second round will be directly to the managerial round, that's fine. Okay, now in order to do the hypothesis testing, we have to first consider whether this testing is one tail or two tail. Okay, so let me write that part as well. In order to perform hypothesis testing, we have to, in order to perform the hypothesis testing, we have to first understand whether the problem belongs to one-tailed or two-tailed, or one-tailed. I will explain what is one-tailed and what is two-tailed, or two-tailed. Two-tailed. Okay, let me give you one thing, one example of one-tailed or two-tailed. Okay. Okay. So let's suppose I am claiming, let's suppose I am claiming I have 100 rupees. Okay. I have 100 rupees. Now, if you are going to do the hypothesis testing and after the testing you found I have 99 rupees, then also I am wrong. And if you found after hypothesis testing I have 101 rupees, then also I'm wrong, right? So this case, this type of scenario is known as two-tail testing. Okay, let me write down this part. It's very important. Just observe this part. How you will understand it's a one-tail testing or two-tail testing. First thing, let's suppose this is I am claiming I have 100 rupees. Now you start doing the hypothesis testing and you found that no, I don't have 100 rupees. I have only 99 rupees or 99.9999 something. I don't have 100 rupees. Then also my claim is wrong. Okay. But if you found or you found 100.00001 something, then also my claim is wrong, right? Whatever I'm claiming is wrong. So if this kind of situation is there, lower or upper, from this from this critical region. This is known as the critical point. From this critical point, if downward also is not considerable or upward also it's not considerable. Okay, so this kind of scenario is known as two-tailed testing. Then this time we will consider it is as two-tailed testing. Does it make sense? Two-tailed testing. Okay, now we'll consider the one-tailed testing. Okay, so let's suppose I am claiming I have more than 100 rupees. Let's suppose I am claiming I have more than 100 rupees, more than 100 rupees, or I'm saying like I'm considering I have more than or equal to 100 rupees. Okay, so now you are start doing the testing and you found, okay, I have 101 rupees. I have 101 rupees. Then my claim is right. But if you found I have only 99 rupees, then my claim is wrong, right? So here, this kind of testing is known as one-tailed testing. Does it make sense? Any doubt in this? Okay. So let's suppose I am claiming that I have more than 100 rupees. Let's suppose, just for instance, I'm claiming that I have more than 100 rupees. Now you start doing the hypothesis. Just a minute. Now you start doing the hypothesis testing and you found I have 101 rupees. Then my assumption, my claim is right? Whatever I claimed, it's right. Because I already told I have more than or 100, equal to 100 rupees. So my claim is right. But let's suppose you start doing the hypothesis testing and you found I have 99 rupees. Then in that case, my claim is wrong because I already claimed I have more than greater than or equal to 100 rupees. So my claim is wrong, right? Does it make sense? Then this kind of testing is known as, this kind of scenario is known as one-tailed scenario in case of hypothesis testing. So in order to do the hypothesis testing, four things you have to keep in your mind. First thing, what is null hypothesis? What is alternative hypothesis? Third thing, you have to find whether the problem is one tail or two tail. Fourth thing that I am going to discuss now. Understood? In order to do the hypothesis testing and how you will understand it's one tail or two tail, I'll give you the example. Don't worry. Does it make sense? First, tell me the what. Does it make sense? Okay. So let me write that one tail and two tail first, and then I can explain this part. Sorry. Are you able to read down this first, this statement, whatever I wrote? If you are able to understand this statement, whatever I've told, that I wrote it in Word. Okay, little zoom it. Yeah, that's fine. So if alternative hypothesis gives the alternative in both the direction, then both the direction less than or greater than of the value of the parameter specified null hypothesis, and it is called two-tailed testing. This, for example, I can give you this part. So you can see above is also failed or less than is also failed. Then this is known as the alternative hypothesis. Two-tailed testing. But if alternative hypothesis gives the alternative only in one direction, either less or greater than, then in that case it is null hypothesis called one-tailed testing. Does it make sense now? Yeah. Cool. Now we are going to discuss about critical reason. What do you mean by the critical reason? So first thing, let me ask a few things. Critical reason is what? What do you mean by the critical reason? Critical reason is the reason, or you can consider as a threshold. Beyond that or below that, if something is going, that cannot be accepted. So just for example, let's suppose in order to get admission in IIT or NIT, they have set some predefined rule. First thing is that you have to enroll for any kind of entrance exam. Second thing is that you have to get enough score. Either you are SC, ST, OBC, or general, based on your uh, uh, category. Then if you are cracking these two part, then only you are getting enrolled for any kind of reason, any kind of college or NIT or IIT, right? Otherwise you are failure, right? So critical reason is the kind of threshold, you can say, where below that or after that, it depends. Again, it depends below or after. If it is a two tail, then both the things should consider. If it is a one tail, then only one thing. Let me just allow me 5 minutes, just a minute. Okay, so yeah, cool. So so what do you mean by the critical reason? Critical reason is that reason in the sample space in which the calculated value lies, then reject the null hypothesis. That this okay. Okay, we'll explain this part with one example, then I think things will get clear. Okay, just a minute. So what I was saying. Okay, so I was talking about critical reason. Let's understand with an example. Okay, suppose you are looking. Let's suppose you are looking to a rent an apartment. Okay, and your budget is 15,000 per month. 15,000 rupees per month. Now you visited many apartment websites like No Broker, Griffiths, apartment.com, Adagio, different kind of e-commerce, sorry, real estate websites are there. So where you can visit and you can get flats or apartment for you. Okay. So you will go and you will filter it out all the apartment, which is following your these things, your budget. Now, first criteria is what? Your budget is 15,000 per month, 15,000 rupees per month. Now, how first criteria to reject the flats or apartment is what? Whatever flat is fall, whatever flat or apartment having the price is more than 15,000 rupees, then you will not accept these things in your domain or in your bucket. You will accept or you will keep those apartment only in your bucket, which having the price or monthly rent is less than 15,000 or 15,000. Means it's not like that your budget is 15,000 rupees per month, then you will not have a look on the apartment which having the price 7,000 per month, right? Yes or no? First tell me this thing. Did you understood this part first? Yes, any chat should be fine. If you're understanding these things, then please do let me know yes or no. Okay, I will note it down this example in your whiteboard as well. So this is the example that I was discussing about. So suppose you are looking to rent an apartment. You listed out all the available apartment from the different real estate website. It can be anything, and you have a budget of rupees 1,500. Oh, sorry, 15,000 per month, and you can spend more than that. The list of apartment you have made have price ranging from 7,000 per month to 30,000 per month. Okay, so now question is, will you accept those apartment as well which having the price more than 700 sorry 1,500? No, you will not accept. Just hold on 1 minute. Some Okay. Okay. So guys, can you allow me 10 minutes? I'll be back in 10 minutes or else 1 minute. Let me. Yeah, fine. Cool. So, so what this error it is? Just a minute. Mm. So I'm writing it out. What are the possible scenario it is? Just do let me know if you are able to understand this. So null hypothesis is what? Null hypothesis is that you will rent the apartment. That's fine. Null hypothesis is you will rent the apartment. Alternative hypothesis is what? You won't rent the apartment. So in order to just a minute. Just a minute. 1 minute. Let me chat with someone. It's very important. Okay, fine. So in order to hold on. So in order to have that apartment on rent, what is the criteria? Criteria is that your apartment budget should or rent should fall below or equal to 1500 rupees. Oh, sorry, 15,000 rupees. Or else you will not take the apartment on rent, right? So I'm gonna write this part as well. So I was telling this part. Now, since your budget is 15,000 rupees, you have to reject all the apartment above that price. Here, all the price greater than 15,000 becomes your critical region. Means if the random apartment price is lies in that region, you have to reject the null hypothesis. See, this part is very critical. Reject the null hypothesis in the sense of means you are going to accept the alternative hypothesis. If you are rejecting something, always obviously if you're rejecting something, you have to accept someone else, right? So first thing is that you are rejecting the null hypothesis, means you are not going, you will rent the apartment, means you will reject these things, means you won't rent the apartment. This is the alternative hypothesis, means you are going with the alternative hypothesis. So here the critical reason is what? Here the 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Getting some important chat. It's a weekdays. Okay. None. Okay. So now here the critical reason is what? So let me describe this part first. So the critical reason lies in one tail or two tail. First, tell me this hypothesis testing is what? It's a one tail testing or two tail testing. Can you please? Cool. Wait a minute. Uh, just to hold on. Where is my screen? Cool. My screen is visible to you? Is it? Okay, cool. Cool, thank you. So the critical reason, okay. So in order to consider critical reason, first thing is that you have to identify it's a one tail or two tail. Okay. So with the problem, what do you understand? It's a one tail or two tail? First tell me this, please. See, now you guys have the enough idea about the hypothesis. This is all about the hypothesis, nothing else. If you are able to understand the one tail or two tail, if you are able to understand null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, the concepts are clear. And with the problem statement, you can, if you are able to mark it out, okay, it's what is the null hypothesis, what will be the alternative hypothesis, then it's fine. Okay, so tell me the things. Is it a one tail or two tail? It's open question for everyone. It's a two-tailed. How can you say it's two-tailed? Mm-hmm. Then it's you have to reject. You have to reject the null hypothesis. Okay. If it is a below, then so you can accept. So how can you say it's a one tail or two tail? Means it's a two tail. It's a one tail, right? It's not about the sorry. See, either head or tail. So if you made a once a mistake, then obviously I have to accept the alternative part. It's not about the sorry. You have to give the statement whatever you are saying with proper conclusion, proper result. Okay. So that's the one thing. Okay, fine. Anyways, now going with the critical value. Okay. So here we can see, like we understood it's a one tail testing. Okay. So critical reason is predefined area corresponding to cutoff value or in the probability or distribution curve. So what is the probability distribution curve? It's a bell shape curve and denoted by the alpha. Okay. So basically is what it's actually. So let me draw that part. Then I can explain this part. So what I was saying. So I was saying is any kind of distributions whenever we are drawing, okay, whenever we are drawing with any kind of distribution, we have seen the distribution follow this bell-shaped curve, okay. So the critical region is always fall in this portion, and this has been denoted by alpha. And what is the alpha? Alpha is your critical point. You can see in this place the critical point is 15,000, right? And with the 15,000 we have to calculate the alpha value, and with the alpha value we have to get whether our testing is falling under below the means after the alpha value or inside of alpha value. If it is inside, then we can accept. If it is after the alpha means after the alpha beyond the alpha value, then we have to reject that thing. So that is getting denoted by the alpha. I will tell you how we can calculate the alpha value as well. Okay. So now, so in case of like if it is a one tail or two tail, depend which kind of problem you are going to deal. So let me note it down the diagram first, and then I can explain this part in a better way. Oh, where is my screenshot? Just so what I was saying. I was saying the alpha value, right? So if it is a two-tail testing, then in that case, alpha value will get divided by 2. So our critical region will fall under both the tail. Okay. So again, if it is if it is a one-tail testing, then again you have to think if it is a left tail testing or right tail testing. So in this problem, is what you are understanding? Is it left tail testing or right tail testing? With this problem statement, what are you understanding? Okay, let me give you the let me make you understand. So thing is that how I can reject this apartment if it is falling, if the apartment price is greater than 15,000, I have to reject. Means greater will fall under which region? Right section, right? So our one tail testing is a right hand tail testing. It's a right hand tail. It's not left hand tail testing. Okay. But if it is a two tail, then there is no confusion whether it's a left or right. That's on you. Does it make sense how I can understand whether it's a left tail or right tail? Cool. It is left side, right side. Yes, correct. Now Consider the case 2. Case 2. Let me draw one more diagram. Just hold on. Let me draw the one another diagram. We can skip this part as well, but I don't want to skip this part because I feel this is the more see, this is more than engineering. It's not about the engineering. Okay, in engineering we know if we'll add 2 plus 2 always will be 1, but in case of AI never 2 plus 2 become a 4. Okay, so it depend on the situation, it depend on a lot of factors, environment variable, a lot of things are there, what are the situation we have. So in order to understand the situation so that we can ready for the output, that's what we are learning this much of effort. That's what we are putting this much of effort, right? Did you understood the problem? So we are not going to deal with the engineering problem, right? Okay. Just hold on, guys. I'm back. I'll be back 1 minute. Just hold on for 5 minutes. I'll be back.